Hello friends, my name is Ratamasu. Today we will discuss about a topic, what is risk in project management. Friend, today we will discuss this topic in detail, that what is risk and how we will handle it in project management. Friend, let me tell you that risk, whenever we talk about risk means something uncertainty. Uncertainty means that you don't know that this thing will happen or it will not happen. So this is called a risk. Risk can be positively impact your project or negatively impact your project. Okay, so that is called the main concept of risk. Before going into the deep, I would request to please subscribe my channel and click on the bell option as well. So let us start in detail. What is risk exactly in project management? Friend, this video pertains to main project management or PMP, project management body of knowledge. So whenever we are implementing any project, for example you are implementing a software project, so remember one thing, project means something unique, some unique service product, and it has some time frame, it has some starting point, ending point. Means for example if you are implementing a software project, like you are implementing a mobile application, so it is a it is a project. That means it has some time frame, like for example you will start in January and you will end it in March, and you have to deliver that project. It has some ending point. Okay, so project management means that you are managing that project, you are managing that project. What does that mean? Means that if you are driving a car, so you know that you have to increase the speed at some time, you have to decrease the speed some point. So similarly in project management means that you have to manage a project. You just relate the earlier mentioned example with the project management. In project management you have to manage a project. Manage means that you have to take decisions according to the situation. Friend, let me tell you that today we will discuss in a very higher sense, in a I will try my level best to explain the concept of risk in a very easy manner, so that everyone can understand, especially if someone want to give the exam of PMP. So this concept is very important with respect to the point of view of exam PMP. Or also if you are already a project manager and going to implement a project, so this is also a very important concept of risk. This is very important to understand what does that means and how we will manage it. So friend, uh, let's take an example let's take an example that you are implementing a project and how you will manage, how you will identify a risk. For example, you are a project manager and you have to construct a pull, a flyover at some road. Okay, so this is a project. What could be the risk there? Uncertainty. Uncertainty that maybe there could be some traffic blockade there. Maybe the material you asked to buy from somewhere, it will not be available on time. So there could be so many reasons, so many risks could be involved in this type of project. So what is the risk? Risk is the uncertainty. Uncertainty means, just see this diagram. If you are going somewhere and you don't know that what will happen or not happen, it will impact or not impact. Okay, so remember one thing, risk means the uncertainty in the project, in the situation. You don't know that this thing will happen or not happen. If this thing happen, if this thing happen positively, it will become an opportunity. And if this thing happens negatively, it will impact your project negatively, it will become an issue. For example, you are implementing a software project at production. Maybe the required software or hardware resources not may not available at production at that time. Maybe, just an example. So if this thing not happens, so it this will impact the project negatively, and your project will not be implemented at production. This will become an issue. And if all these for similarly, one more example, if you are launching a new product, there there are risk there is a risk that people don't like your strategy, the consumer don't like your strategy. There is another factor as well, that people maybe like your the strategy as well. If they like your strategy, they like your idea, it will become an opportunity for you. Okay, so risk means the uncertainty situation which can impact positively or negatively your project. So this is called the concept of risk. Now there could be five elements whenever you are determining the risk. First one is the risk event. Risk event means what might happen to affect your project. The event, the event of a risk, the what might happen in that means that what will happen that will trigger that the risk will occur. Risk time frame, what is likely to happen when you are thinking that it will happen. Like for example, tomorrow it will happen, day after tomorrow happen, on Thursday it will happen. Like for example, from 5th January to 10th January there are chances. So it is a time frame, just a time frame. Probability, you have to think about a probability. What is probability? In simple terms, the chances of happening. For example, chances of happening means uh, if you are implementing a project at production, a software project, there are 5% chances that the particular resource, hardware resource, may not be available. There are 5% chances. So probability of risk is 5%. Similarly, if the probability of chances is high of a risk, so you have to be very careful. If there are 70% chances that the particular hardware resource would not be available at production, so what we will do, there will definitely a chance of failure. So you can't go in this situation. If so, you have, whenever you are taking decision, you are identifying the risk, you must have to see the probability. Probability means the chances of occurrence. What you think that you have to go from one place to another place, what are the chances that the transport will be available at that time? Try to understand the concept. If you are going in the morning, there are very high chances that the taxis and the buses would be available. If you are going in the night at 3 o'clock, so there is a very low chances that the traffic would be available, taxis would be available. So this is called, you can try to understand the concept of probability or chances of occurrence, chances of happening. Now the impact is the most important factor. Like what is the expected outcome? Always try to keep in your mind the impact of risk. If that particular resource would not be available at production, what would be the impact? You can't implement the project at production. So this is the biggest impact. If that particular resource not available, there will be no major or minor impact on the project, so you can go. So this is called the concept of impact. Impact means the expected outcome. Are you getting with my are you with me? What is the expected outcome? Impact, what is what will happen, what impact means all the things, like in terms of financial impact as well, in terms of project as well. So always keep in your mind the probability and the impact, the other factors as well. What events forms or trigger the risk event, like what will happen that the risk will occur. Okay, the other factors as well you have to think, you have to keep in your mind that what are the other factors as well that will trigger the risk event. Okay, um, for example, if there is, you can just try to just simple example, if there is a rainfall in the city, there are high chances that people will not come on time. This is just a very simple example, I'm just giving an example. So friend, whenever you are identifying the risk, determining the risk, sorry, so you must have to think about the events, time frame, probability, impact, and other factors as well whenever you are determining the risk. So what is risk, friend? Risk is uncertainty which could impact your project positively or negatively. If it positively impact, it will become an opportunity for you, like you can grow, you can move forward. If it negatively impact your project, it will become uh, it will become an issue for you, and it you have to move back, you have to take some other plans, you have to take some plan B. So remember one thing, that risk is an uncertainty which can positively or negatively impact your project. So friends, that's all from my side. I hope you like this video. If you like, please share it with your friends and colleagues, and that's all from my side. Thank you. Thanks a lot.